welcome to this video. This video is how to tie a set of Sabikis. I have done this video before, but as my tackle progresses and things become better, I think it is only proper that I update the videos, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to leave the old video up for a week if you want to see that, so then I'm going to delete it. And this is going to be the standard from that point onwards. Can I improve on this? I don't think so. So this is what it is right here. Macro Sabikis. I have made it easier in two ways. Both the fly, for the sake of a better word, that's what it is, and the construction of the string itself has been made easy and better at the same time. It kind of drives me a bit crazy when I make a video and people say, oh, there's a much easier way to do that. And sometimes there is, but is it better? Often not. Often it's just easier and quicker. And that is something that a lot of people are willing to compromise with, but not for me. Performance is absolutely everything. That's it. In this case, though, I have improved it in every type of way. It is easier to do and it is better. It is quicker as well. So where this differs from before is both in the string itself, the string of flies, and the fly itself, or feather, sabiki, whatever you want to call it. Okay, big bunch of them. And I'm going to run you through what you need to make it in this video, and you'd be surprised on what you don't need, right? So in the past, this would have this luminous head, and I would have used some red whipping where this pink is instead, right? This hollow ribbon is still exactly the same. And for a change, everything that I used to make these is going to be listed in the description. Everything. Apart from the string for the main line, because it's just a piece of 60-pound mono, and I'm pretty sure you've got that in abundance, right? But the rest of it, since I'm using it, I'm going to link it in the description. I've been going backwards and forwards over this thing where I make money for people for free. But if you benefit from it more than a producer does, that's okay with me. There's no big producers like Penn or Sabikis or anything like that in this. It's just tiny little vendors in China, right? So they've helped me out. I'm going to help them out. Okay, that's it. So everything is going to be linked. Luminous tube, UV tube, hollow ribbon, hook, and the snood line, right? I hate that word. Snood line. I prefer hook length, but I think that takes longer to say. Right, so let's get started. First of all, I'm going to build a fly. In days of yore, you would have needed one of these, right? You don't need one of those. In days of yore, you would have needed one of these. Yeah, guess what? You don't need one of those either. What you do need is a hook, some luminous tubing, and some UV reactive tubing. It is fantastic. These flies I created last year. I didn't bother updating the video. I need to test this stuff, you know, just to make sure it performs the way it should. And this stuff here is mental. My old feathers caught no problem, but these ones are much better according to the results and much quicker to make as well. We're missing one piece of the puzzle. And it is this stuff here, hollow ribbon. Also linked in the description. I bought this 3 years ago, this one roll. I'm not even a quarter of the way through it. I think you could make Sabikis for 20, 30 years with this tiny little roll here. So it's not expensive and it's definitely worth the money. Okay, so I will get started. The beauty of this is the lack of tools that you need. This is probably the one tool that you do need. A pair of scissors, right? That's it. And some super glue. This is optional, but I always use this. It just makes life easier. So what I'm going to do here is just create the Sabiki itself. You can actually find the heads for these on AliExpress as well. Like, you know, the little fish heads with the eyes and everything. You can find all of that stuff on AliExpress if that's the way you want to go with it. But they are honestly, they are quite expensive. And the fish, they just don't care. What mackerel want? They want something that's UV, and they want something glowing, and they want something silver. That's all they want. And those three things, coupled with the silver hook as well, that's all you need. And the mackerel will go mental for them. These are quite delicate and small, but you'll catch all the way from the small mackerel, the joeys, all the way up to the big guys with these. So where you start is with the flash, right? So you cut yourself a bit of flash, add an angle. The angle is so you can get it through the eye of the hook. Now, potentially, you can use whatever hook you like for this, but these ones are coated with nickel, let's just say, or some type of silvery substance, which allows you to clean them, and they flash in the water as well. They're also long shank as well, which is great for building upon, okay? But If you can't get these or you don't want to go to the trouble of buying them, any old bait hook will do. These are size 1. Okay? So the first thing you do is you get your hollow ribbon and you just pass it through. Okay. There we go. Then you take a piece of your UV tubing. So there is a small break in the eye of the hook. And if you lie the ribbon flat on it, sometimes it will slip out and will cause you problems. So you hold the ribbon to the side of the eye without the break in it. Just like this. Then you slide your UV tubing over this. And there we go. That's the first part, right? Not too strenuous. And then the next part is even less strenuous. You cut a shorter piece to mimic the head. You could put a dot of ink on that as well if you wanted to mimic the eye of a fish. You could cut a little V in it, just like the shop bought Sabikis have, and a dot if you want. So I will cut about 5mm of luminous tubing and just put that over the top. Slide it down, that's no problem. But you need to expose the eye of the hook. Now you can straighten out your ribbon if you like, or you can just leave it the hell alone, right? But I like one piece either side of the hook, right? Because I'm a bit of a tart. That's it. That's how easy it is to make this. Now, to finish this, and I hang these on a little bar, you can stick them on the edge of a table, whatever. You just drop a couple of drops of super glue in the end, right? And it runs down and it holds everything in place. That's it. Done. Right. Now you hang that up. You do that 4 times. That's it. You do that. So there we go. 4 flies ready to go. You can leave these as long or as short as you like. Having them long isn't really that good. They get damaged more quickly and they will retard your casting. So just a little piece will do. There you go. About that length there. Just needs to flow in the water. And that one's good. Yes, that's it. Yoo-hoo. From the shore, 4 is best, right? You're there to get as many as you need, and then you're going to stop fishing, and that's it. Yes? So next is the rig body. 60, 70, 50, 80 pounds, you'd be grand, right? So, a body's length of that. And as I've explained in the past, whether you're short or tall, it will suit your casting because this is how big you are, right? Genius. Everything is measured on my body, right? The snoot for the fly, Sabiki, is the length of my forearm and hand, right? That's how long that is. That's the rig body done. Now you're going to make 4 snoots. You're going to tie it out of this. If you want, any monofilament will do. This one is 0.5. If it's 20 pounds, you're fine. If it's 30 pounds, you're fine. If it's 50 pounds, you're fine. What is not fine is if the fish can tighten a knot, right? It'll make your life more difficult. This stuff is coated in fluorocarbon. The center of it is mono, so it's really good. I love it a lot. Both things in one place, right? It is done this way because it's cheap. Other people think it's inferior. It is actually not. It is actually the other way. Accidentally, they've created something truly fantastic. It has the flexibility and strength of monofilament, and it has the hardness of fluorocarbon on the outside. Unfortunately, the manufacturers of this, they don't make it in anything bigger than this 0.5. You need 4 lengths of them, okay? And once you've done that, you can start building your Sabiki rigs, right? With Sabiki rigs, because mackerel never do as they're told, and they have absolutely no directional skills, and they never work together, you will need a swivel up the top. This is one of these cases where you actually really do need a swivel, because mackerel, like I said, they don't communicate too good, and when they're freaked out, they all swim in a different direction. And if you've experienced it, they will tie you in a huge knot, right? And a swivel at the top of the rig will help. At the bottom, you will put a lead link of some type. A quick link is preferred, right? And on that, I will always fish a slow jig or fast jig. Mostly slow jig. So don't stick a giant, huge swivel on the end of it. Find something that suits the job, right? The more attention you pay to the details, the further this will cast, and it will increase your chances of hooking up. I know it's just mackerel fishing, but when it comes to bait, it is no longer just mackerel fishing. Now it is the rest of your season. So don't be arrogant about it. Put the time in. It's mackerel. They're great fun to catch as well. Swivel up the top and quick link down the bottom. Yes, lovely job. And I create this before I get started. I tie the swivel on and I tie the other one on the end. And I'm just going to use figure of 8 for this. Now, with the measurement, I've allowed for tag ends as well. So, lead link, swivel. Yes. Normally I would hang this up and do it, but it's too difficult to film. So it is in actual fact so easy to do this that you can do it without hanging it up. So I'm just going to do that instead. So before I start tying these, I'm just going to show you what the big deal is about, right? Okay. This is what it's all about. Okay. And this is why the fish want to eat them. So to demonstrate how to tie the rig body, I'm going to use some braid in orange and yellow. The yellow is the snood line and this is the rig body. Okay. Now I'm just going to show you how to attach the sabiki to the main line. And then I'm going to actually tie the feathers afterwards, or sabikis, and you can see the spacing on how you achieve it and the importance of it, okay? So first of all, you take your main line and your snood and you put an overhand knot in it, okay? That's it. Both of them together, okay? Couldn't be more simple than that. There we go. Done, right? And just for the sake of not getting confused, I am going to trim off the tag of the sabiki. It makes it a little bit easier to build as well, okay? So now we are almost halfway there. Obviously, this is not going to be strong enough to hold us. So you go to the bottom below the knot and you just do 2 turns, that's it, around the main line. Yes, and then you do exactly the same up the top. Okay? You make a loop through it twice. That's it. Then you pull that down. And that is how you secure them, right? That's the knot that's used. And now I'm going to demonstrate how the spacing works when I actually tie the rig itself. This is going to be a little bit more challenging, I suppose. But I will persevere. So, I have them all tied. They've all got snoods. Yes. There is the rig body. Okay, it's no longer as long as me. It's a little bit shorter. So, the first one, I like to pinch the sabiki and the top swivel like this. With the swivel a little bit higher than the sabiki. I run down and I find the length that I want, right? Yes, I want it to be this long. I would say that's about 15 centimeters, right? Or 12 maybe. That's up to yourself. If they're too long, they tangle, right? And they get kinks and it's just a nightmare. So there you go. And then you just do, like I said before, you take the 2 and you just throw an overhand knot into it. There we go. There's the overhand knot. Now, don't let go of it. You pull this way on the 2 tag ends like that and it will stay where you started. Now you have your length. So now I'm going to cut that tag off. Make sure the knot is tight, right? Or you're going to have problems. Clip that away. That's just to save you some bother. So in through twice. That's it. Pull the line tight. Okay? I'm just going to pull on this a little bit. Anyway, so there we go. Now some would say that that is good enough, but you want extra security, right? So you just go above the knot that you tied and you do the same thing on the other side, right? Once, twice. So there we go. That's the first one tied on. Yes. Now, the second one. Everything after this point is exactly the same. All the way to the bottom. So you take your sabiki and you link it into the other one. Okay? Now they are touching right now, okay? Right? But when you put those 2 knots in, it will just pull it that little bit further away that they won't contact each other, okay? So I want the snoods to be roughly the same. I mean, you don't have to be serial killer about it, but roughly the same length, right? And this is, I just do this by eye. Exactly the same thing again. Just 1 overhand knot. That's it. Holding on to the knot all the time until it's out of your fingers. Pull it tight. Cut off the tag. And we're in exactly the same place as we were before. So you go to the bottom, just pass it through twice like that. Simple, easy. I mean, does it get any easier? No, it does not. That's it. And then 2 above. There we go. And when I'm finished, you can see them there now, right? Approximately the same length. Okay, and I just put 2 more until I get to the bottom. That's it. That's how you tie a pair of Sabikis. Making the video takes a long time, but tying the Sabikis itself doesn't take any time at all. Especially if you tie them up on a wall or something like that. It's just not possible for me. The wall would have to be a certain colour and stuff like that. I'm making videos, right? So that's it. If you like that, I have some more tackle videos coming up. These ones are going to be great indeed. And this is what I'm going to be making in them. Don't miss it. It will get you fishing no matter where you are in the world. And it'll get you catching fantastic fishes. Yes. Homemade. So that video is coming up in the future. So I'm Billy. This is Billy showing you how to tie Sabikis. Wherever you are in the world, remember, you always need bait. Bye.